Mr. Aaron Sheets, I will give you the same courtesy that I give everyone. Either tell me something about you that nobody knows, or you get to fall victim for one of my dad cards jokes.
Man, I think I got to choose dad joke because I just don't have that many interesting things to talk about myself.
I doubt that very much. I doubt that you don't have anything interesting to say, but I'll spare you. Also, I
Thank
like
you.
reading the dad card, the dad jokes card. They're fun
Hey,
to me. Here we go.
okay.
I don't suffer from insanity. I enjoy every minute of it.
I'm with you. Okay.
This is one of my favorite ones. By the way, I've not read any of these. I'm reading them for the first time as I go on camera. So I love that one. I think I'm gonna save that one and use it more often. Welcome back to another special episode of Hello Henderson with another special guest, Mr. Aaron Sheets of HopeLink of Southern Nevada. We're here to talk about a very special cause, Dink for HopeLinks, and we are going to talk about it. We're going to get into it, but we want to get to know Aaron first. Aaron is a new friend of ours here on the show. Aaron, I think I've seen you around Tech Alley maybe one or so twice before. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you tell us who you are and how did you get to be on Hello Henderson?
My name is Eric Sheets. I am with HopeLink of Southern Nevada. We are a family resource center. We help individuals and families and seniors in crisis, and we work largely in the homelessness prevention field. So we're trying to keep people from falling into homelessness. Once, if they do fall, we take it upon ourselves to right that ship as quickly as we possibly can and get them housed to make that stay there very, very short. And yeah, I've been at HopeLink for 14 years now. Started out as a case manager and I've worked pretty much every position in the office. But before that, I was in private business. I had a contracting firm here in Las Vegas and did a lot of work in that arena. But second half of my career, I really wanted it to be about public service and giving back. Started off, learned the business, and now I am in my current position and actually really enjoying being able to serve the community this way.
That is wonderful. I mean, thank you so much for everything that you do, by the way. This is a great cause, as I said at the top of the opening here. But before you even CEO and all that, we get it. But who is Aaron Sheets? We really want to get to know Aaron. We want to get to know Aaron at the core. Give us your origin story.
Origin story. Born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I went to college there, started working in contracting once I got out of college, and came up here to start a business for a person that was expanding up here, and eventually started my own business and got to pretty good size. We had about 200 employees doing quite a bit of work around the community. And yeah, and then I was always involved in church work, always involved in community service, but realized that I really wanted to focus my life on that piece. Not so much the chasing money piece, but the piece where I could actually serve others with things I've learned over the years. And so that's where I'm at. I have a wife. We have 5 kids between us. We have 9 grandchildren. Keep us very busy. All of them are located locally here. Weekends are basketball and baseball and cheer and things like that. So keeps you busy.
Oh yeah, it's safe to say if you have kids, you're probably going to see Aaron at one of those events, right? All right.
Yes. On occasion, I'm known to show up to those. Yes.
So let's talk about you becoming a CEO. I mean, we know that you've been with HopeLink for over 10 years. You are the CEO of HopeLink. Before that, you were the CEO, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? I'm on the right track here.
Yes. Chief operating. Yes, I was.
Right. So, what did HopeLink look like before you walked in the door compared to today?
Oh, it's changed tremendously in the last 6 to 7 years. We've grown like 1,600%. Been crazy. We were a small boutique agency serving largely Henderson clients back when I first started, and COVID changed all of that for us. It turns out that the community really needed a service that we provide really well, which is rental and utility assistance. And so we took a grant from Clark County which grew into a larger grant, which grew into many grants from all the different jurisdictions to provide those services, trying to keep people housed in all of Southern Nevada. And it's to today where we're serving all of Southern Nevada, and we're working on serving the entire state with these types of stabilization services. Because while we work largely with the community experiencing homelessness, our main focus is to keep people from falling into that. And we're really putting a lot of energy on that, working with the state legislature, working with the governor's office, getting to the point where we can actually have these services and provide them early in the continuum of services than we do now. Because largely right now, we have to wait until the last minute. You have to basically on your last dollar, your last thread, your last breath before any of our services become something you can qualify for. And we're really trying to change that, but so we can actually serve people earlier. It's less expensive, it's more efficient, it's more humane, and we have better outcomes if we wait before the dam breaks, so to speak. And once you see that first crack, let's get that fixed.
Yeah. That's great. And I do want to touch on that because I feel like there's a personal story there. But before I do that, I do want to ask because we do talk business here. We talk to small businesses, medium sized businesses, we talk to community leaders. And, being involved with Tech Alley Henderson, we help folks find, the right pathway to become successful entrepreneurs and whatnot. And that's where my question comes in. So you were a business owner before that stepped into the role of CEO of a nonprofit. What are the similarities and what are the big differences? Like what's the shift that you had to go through? Say like I can't do this anymore. I have to. This is a totally different ballgame. Or is the similarity more closely than we think of?
There's a little bit of both. In the nonprofit world, you are working to zero on a budget. People give you money, you have to spend it all exactly the way that you have agreed that you would do. That's facilitating the grant funds to the people that need the service. For profit, obviously, you are trying to produce goods or services at a price where you can actually sell those services for less than it costs you to provide them. So you have a profit at the end of the day. The accounting is a little bit different. I had to learn that. And I came in that you're penalized actually if you don't spend all your money in a nonprofit. That was a big difference. So I had to learn that piece and learn how to actually extrapolate these funds over the length of the grant, things like that was the difference. The similarities are critical thinking your way through problems. It turns out when I went from for profit to nonprofit, a lot of the skills relate directly. Basically, just being able to make decisions and actually not being afraid of changing things and taking responsibility for things. And actually, just because something has been done one certain way for many years, maybe there is a different way. And maybe you need to be looking at that. And maybe you need to be talking to people around you that do this really. A lot of things in the private business world, I tell my friends that see me and they go, man, I wish I could do what you did. You absolutely could. You have to take the time to learn how a nonprofit actually functions, but the skills that you gain especially when you're the owner. I was the president of a contracting firm. And so you learn a lot about people and managing people, which is just one of those skills that it's in dire need today. And just all of those relate over making decisions, working with budgets, understanding how a business operates, understanding what cash flows look like. Those all relate directly. And we could use more of those in the nonprofit field, to be honest with you. So I'm always encouraging people to get involved if they feel the calling.
Wow. Well, okay. Speaking of, it sounds like you found your calling. Can you tell us a little bit more about that moment? Like, when was the transition point for you where you said, "This is what I'm meant to do"?
Yeah, interesting. But when I was in high school, I was an athlete. I was being recruited to play football at some colleges, and you take aptitude tests. And the aptitude test always came back to me, you should be a social worker. And I didn't know what that was. And I ignored it. I wanted to go play sports. These Christian schools, Texas Christian University and Baylor University, were sending me recruiting letters. I'm like, why would I want to go there? Those are weird people. And which is different now because I'm very Christianistic, but I didn't understand it at that time. So I ignored it for quite a long time. But always when I was working, I always had that little voice in the back of my head that you should be doing more, you should be helping more, you should be serving more. And so I got to my mid 40s and I started acting on that much more financially at first, and then realizing that I love this work. I didn't love contracting so much because there's a winner and a loser in those deals, and I didn't like that. I like it when both sides can win. So over the course of 3 years, I spun down my business and was able to offload that actually to the people that have worked for me for 20 plus years. And they got the vehicles, they got the accounts, and they kept that going. And I was able to kind of start over in nonprofit, took a humongous pay cut. I never regretted it for a moment. I had a wife that supported me doing it. Yeah, it's been quite a journey, but I'm really fortunate now that I get to choose what I do in my days and choose what I do for work. And I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I am trying to use everything that I have to solve some problems in our community and help it become a better place for everybody.
That's such a wonderful thing to say. I love everything that you just said because it speaks to me, as somebody who's an empath. I've found out obviously what an empath was a few, maybe 10 years ago or so. And I realized that I've been that way my whole life, but it took me the hard way to learn how to channel it in a more positive way. A lot of people don't know that. And that's what it sounds like you're doing. You're channeling your empathy into something more positive and productive into the community. So thank you for doing that. I really commend you for that.
Thank you. It really is a calling. When you answer your calling, you generally find some success, don't you?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
I'm gonna
people ignore it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna switch gears here. This is probably for the outtakes part. What position did you play in football?
I was a linebacker safety kind of hybrid. Really enjoyed
Okay.
beating up people. Yeah.
I wanted to be in the offense. I can never be a quarterback. I'm not good at quarterback, and definitely not good as a wide receiver. I didn't want to be a lineman because I was a wrestler. So I wanted to be a running back or a fullback.
What you learned in sports, though, to me, it translated into so many things in life that kids that aren't in sports sometimes miss the value of being on a team and sacrifice and working for something that's bigger than yourself. Those are all things that I learned in the horrible two-a-day practices in the Arizona sun. Yeah, they probably wouldn't. The things we went through back then, they would probably be child abuse today, but just learned so much. And that whole thing about learning perseverance.
Yeah.
Lots of people were much more gifted athletically or intelligently than I was. They would quit before I would. That was the one thing I had. I would stick with it longer, and it has
I would, I
served
would,
me well
I would,
all through my career.
I would imagine perseverance is something that you need that for you to continue being in the line of work that you do, such as nonprofit and helping folks out and stuff like that.
Yes, it helps in every part of life. But I think really the experience of running a business was the biggest thing, because things that everybody thinks are monumental and you're never going to get through, if you've already been through it once, we're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. When you've been through worse, and when you're working for yourself, it's your money. When you're working for a nonprofit, it's somebody else's money. And it's funny because I'm much more conservative with other people's money than I ever was with my own. It's like it's holy. It's like
Yeah.
that's for a purpose.
Yeah.
We're going to treat it for that purpose.
Yeah. Let me get back on HopeLink because there's a
Mhm.
question that I want to ask, and I gotta be honest with you. I've been asked this before, and sort of like, well, HopeLink of Southern Nevada, they help people not become homeless. Is this a problem? Is there a homelessness problem in Southern Nevada and Henderson? And my immediate response is no, there isn't, and thanks largely to HopeLink of Southern Nevada. Is that true? What do people get wrong about that statement, or what do people get wrong about HopeLink in general?
If you're talking about the community, I promise you, we have people experiencing homelessness in Henderson. They come by
Okay.
our office and you can say hello. We have over 10,000 people experiencing homelessness in our state on any given day. That's by our last point in time count. That's largely undercounted. We believe that there's over 20,000 just in our school system alone, couch surfing or doubling up households. But literally on the street or in some kind of emergency shelter, about 10,000. Then we also have this affordable housing crisis that we have on the other side. We need to be building more affordable housing. We know that. We are in support of every creative option for that. But in the middle there, we have 88,000 households in our state that make 30% of area median income or less. So for perspective, that's about $31,000 for a family of four. They make that little less. They are not in subsidized housing. They're paying market rate housing. They do over 50% of what they make on their housing costs. Those are the people that are at extreme risk of falling into homelessness or falling into eviction and eventually. So we're concentrating on that. We have 10,000 people that are out there that need really intense services, but you have 300,000 people that are at risk that could make our situation much worse. Many of them are in Henderson. So we are concentrating on that piece, keeping them stable while we're building more affordable housing so they can move into that at an appropriate time. It's a complex issue. We have them everywhere. There amongst us. You might even know some people that don't want you to know. So they're out there. It's part of our economy. People talk about Henderson, even Nevada in general, that things are a strong economy. And honestly, you owned a house for a few years, you're probably doing better on paper than you were 5 or 6 years ago. But our economy really works about 80% are doing pretty well. 20% is a big number. It's about 600,000 people that are really struggling. And
A
so
lot
that's
of people don't
HopeLink
think about this
exists
number, right?
to
Yeah.
really support that group, but people don't realize that. And housing instability is the biggest thing. It's what causes our healthcare system costs to rise. It causes our education system to really be taxed and to be performing really not. Workforce mobility, it really affects people, how they perform at work. They're not doing their best when they're wondering where they're going to stay that night or if they're going to be able to pay their rent. They're not performing well. All of those things tie into that larger housing stability or housing stabilization pot that we're really trying to affect. Because if we can get people housed, keep them housed, it solves a lot of other things at the same time.
I asked Ryan and I asked Kristen on the show before, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. What do you think is the biggest problem preventing people from asking for help? In my opinion, I said it's probably pride, shame, a combination of
Sure,
both, maybe. But is
sure.
there something that where it's I'm talking from personal experience because I've been through this before a long time ago, and there's always that fear of like, am I gonna, with everything that's happening, economically around the world and everything, are we gonna be okay? So you're a father and you have a family, you think about this stuff. So I think the shame is part of it, the pressure is part of it. So what prevents families or individuals from saying, I need to nip this in the bud now before it goes further? Because even you guys said it's a lot cheaper to prevent you
Yeah,
from going homeless than
yeah,
actually rehoming you once you become
it is.
homeless.
I think you're right. If it's the pride piece, which is problematic for anybody, public education component that has to be put out there. We are working with the state or with our legislature, I should say, trying to get a larger funding for a housing stabilization service in the state budget is really what we're trying to get to, that we can actually address, that can be flexible, it can be used for a number of different things. And messaging is going to be important there. Here's when you call and here's where you call. And we could take away some of that stigma because if you think of 20% of the people, 1 in 5 people that is probably in this situation. The people that where we work, we know that some of our staff have issues. It's just it happens to people. It happens to good people. So yeah, just getting the education out there and really letting people know this is when you need to be acting. Don't wait because it can be too late. Sometimes we can't save you if we don't have enough time.
You said something earlier that really caught my attention. You said when you were a business owner, you wanted to help out by giving money or donating some money, but then you realize that there's more to do than just donating money. Can you tell us more about that for those out there who say, I really want to help, but I'm struggling to, keep food in my fridge or keep roof over, but I do want to help.
Mhm. We have volunteer opportunities on our website, link to hope.org. We have a list of things that people can do. Not all of them are financial. Sometimes we just need people to help us with a food distribution or to help put together hygiene kits, things like that. We have a lot of those type of opportunities available. And of course, every dollar counts. So we have people that give us $20 a month every month. It just automatically comes in. They might not think that's a lot, but it adds up. It really does. So we need everybody working on this. It's a big problem, and we need every bit of support that we can get towards it for sure.
Absolutely. I'm going to quote you here. Based on my research, I heard that you once said you're their biggest cheerleader. You're HopeLink's biggest cheerleader. Is that a correct statement? Did I do my homework all right?
Yeah, I would say that's a fair statement, but what we put out there is we are our client's biggest cheerleader because our values at HopeLink empower, encourage, and equip. They're not enable. So we
You're fine.
we actually uh, put them in a position to understand that if you can do this for yourself, or you should be able to do this for yourself, we're going to show you how to do this. We're going to encourage you. We're also going to be your biggest cheerleader to see that you get this done, but we can't do it for you. And that's one of the biggest differences about HopeLink is we don't look at our clients as victims in any way. We coach them and we encourage them, and we're their biggest cheerleader. And that's where that came from.
Well, in that same breath, who's your biggest cheerleader? Who keeps you moving on?
Personally,
Yes.
our staff, we have an amazing group. And I feel so blessed to be able to serve our community alongside them. In my particular station in life, in my job, one of the funnest things I get to do is mentor the younger group and our chief officers as we walk through things that I might have seen before, but they haven't. And I am espousing our values to them. I'm encouraging and empowering and equipping them to actually take this even farther when it's their turn to lead the agency. So yeah, I get a big thrill out of that. Like I said, it's a calling to me to actually be able to get up and go do this every day. I feel blessed that I'm able to do it. People ask me what I'm going to do when I retire. I'm already doing it, and I'm having a really good time doing it. So most people aren't as blessed as that. I am.
Now, let's talk about HopeLink. How did that come about? I already know the story from Ryan. Wait, I want to know your reaction when it came in front of you and you were told, hey, we're thinking of doing this. Tell me about that.
Yeah. I'm sure he told you about our friend Matt Phillips, right? Yeah, it came from him largely. He's a big a pickleball player. His daughter worked for us, and unfortunately, she passed away while she was working for us. And that's when we reached out to Matt, and that's when we became friends with Matt. And since that time, Matt has done everything he can to help us. And this is one of his ways is he's a big pickleball player and he wanted to do an event. So we put our team together with Donette and with Ryan and with Kristen and tried to put together a great event that honors his daughter and also puts awareness out there in the community of things that we're working on and also hopefully raising some money for us as well so we can provide additional service.
So it's an interesting combination, but for whatever reason, it works. What makes it work?
The pickleball tournament you're talking about, it's social. Anybody can play. You don't have to be highly skilled at it. You don't even have to play. You can still come out and have some fun. It's indoors, so it's temperature controlled. My understanding is it's dog friendly. A lot of fun elements there. And we have a chance to talk to the people there a little bit about what we do for the people that don't know. Lots of really good elements. We have some sponsors that are helping us put this on, which will help us raise a little bit of money as well. Lots of good things. This is our first one. Maybe I'll come back afterwards and I can tell you how good it was.
Wait. Hold on. Breaking something new here. Is there more in the future we're thinking
As far as a Dink for HopeLink, if it's successful, of course.
of? Okay.
This is our first go with it. So yeah, we plan events. We don't really do fundraisers, so to speak. Our events are for community awareness and relationship building largely. And we think it's a good format for it. So if it turns out that's true and we can raise a little money in the middle of it all, yes, we would do that again for sure.
And shout out to Chicken and Pickle and Stacey Wilder, by the way. I did speak to her. Her segment is coming up also right after your episode.
Yeah.
She's not going to be there that day, but we're gonna
Mhm.
record some segment and we're gonna edit it into the episodes for people to see what she has. So, but again, shout out to Stacy and Chicken and Pickle for giving us the
Absolutely. They've been
well,
a
giving you guys really.
wonderful
I'm
partner.
just there as a guest, but yeah,
Wonderful partner. They have been wonderful to us. They provide a lot of things for nonprofits. For us in particular, just gone out of their way to be helpful. Very grateful for her and her team over there at Chicken and Pickle Fish.
excellent. Excellent. Can you tell us about the 50-50 raffle? Ryan was a little, iffy about it. He said there's a lot of prizes. He didn't want to tell us some of the prizes, but I mean, I'll
Mhm.
understand if you don't want to tell me either. But can you tell us about the 50-50 raffle on June 28th?
Yeah, Fifty raffle, they're fun. If you've ever gone to a night scheme, they do a similar thing where you buy raffle tickets. I believe they're about $1 a piece. If you buy a bunch of them, it's quite a bit less. I think for $100, you get 500 raffle tickets, I believe. And we will pick one winner. They will get 50%, and we will get 50% to put towards programming. So everybody wins in this. So yeah, it's wonderful. Again, it's a new concept for us. So we're hoping that people enjoy it and they'll be successful as well.
And I want to ask this, and I probably should have asked this earlier, and I should have asked Ryan and Donette and Kristen about this. But as far as the tournament itself, does the winner get anything other than just the bragging rights of being Henderson's finest pickleball player?
I believe that there are some prizes available. Again, those are Ryan's area, and there may be some things there that are surprising. This is a fun community event, so we don't want people hurting each other over winning first prize. But yeah,
I would have been okay
we'll that
with a
looks like.
T-shirt that says Henderson's Pickle King or Pickle Queen or something like that.
Hey, we will
Kidding.
put that all over social media and our website for the winner if that's what they would like us to do. Absolutely.
For the record, I'm not playing. First of all, I'm terrible. I was just talking to Stacey how I go with my kids, and our only goal is just to keep the ball up over the, the net, and that's it. I don't even know
It's
any
kind
of
of
the
like
rules,
adult
and
ping
I'm sure
pong. So yeah.
exactly it's adult ping pong. I'm sure I annoy a lot of pickleball aficionados out there, so I don't mean to. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I think there's some serious players and then there are some people there for fun. And we're going to try to mix them. And yeah, it's all for a good cause. And at the end of the day, we want everybody to have fun. That's the biggest win for everyone.
We can't wait to be there. Hello Henderson will be there recording the
Awesome.
event. We want everybody to have fun. So, what do you want people to experience when they show up there?
I want them to come and have a great time and understand that it's going to be a well organized event. That there's food there. There will be raffle prizes. There's the 50-50 raffle on top of that. It's be a wonderful time, and we want people to understand that we value them. We value their time when they come out. So we try to put on good events. We do not want people to leave there thinking, I wish I hadn't gone. We want them to say, I can't wait till the next one. So that's what we're trying to do.
Exactly. And, for those of you that can't make it, you did hear Aaron say earlier how you can provide help, how you can donate not just your money, but your time, your services. There's a lot that can be
Mhm,
done. And we'll put a lot of like the information in the comments, notes and
mhm.
comment section below. We'll put some links up on the screen. We'll put a QR code to HopeLink and the 50-50 raffle and everything. We'll fill the whole screen with a bunch of QR codes for everybody.
No,
Aaron,
that'd
as
be
we
wonderful.
close out the segment,
Yeah. I would like
go ahead.
to say one more thing
No,
is you're welcome to put my email on that page because we're trying to do big things in our community. We are trying to actually change the trajectory of thousands of families in our state to where they don't have to go through this perpetual cycle of poverty. That's why we're trying to address these things earlier in that continuum of care. And if people out there have questions about that, or want to talk about that in more detail, or might be a person of influence or know people of influence that can help us get this going at a level it needs to, I would love to talk to you. So put my email out there and we will set some time together and I'll be happy to speak with any of them. Okay.
we'll put your email right on the screen on the bottom over here and for everybody to take a look at it and email you when they have a chance. Last question for you.
Yes.
Where is HopeLink in 5 years from now?
5 years from now, we should be doing services through the entire state virtually. The rural counties that have very little in northern Nevada, they will all be able to access a multitude of services by a link that they can be sent. And We're hoping that qualification for those services is easy, the application is easy, and we can get people in and out of crisis quickly. That's where we want to be in 5 years, really doing this at a much higher level. And in 10 years, we want to be doing half as much as we're doing today because it worked. Everybody waits for the crisis. Everybody waits until things are broken to start addressing them. And we can show that you can save a whole bunch of money and people are much happier and more stable and more productive if we address it earlier. If that worked for Nevada, we put that out there for anybody who wanted to hear.
That is just so wonderful, Aaron. You're such a wonderful and kind human being. I mean, I can talk to you for another hour about this. I can talk to you for another hour about football and talk to you about another hour about business. So, but why don't we save that for another time?
You
Any
got it,
last words
man.
before we
No,
wrap
I
up?
enjoyed it very much. It was nice to see it in person, kind of. And yeah, would love to continue and I'll look for you out in the community. Okay.
Absolutely. And I'll definitely see you on June 28th at Chicken and Pickle in Henderson. Please show up. It is really for a good cause. These guys are doing a great job
Absolutely.
and they want you to get involved because it takes a village to raise a child. I think that's one of the sayings. And that village is the community that you're in. There's a lot of good people here that could use your help. And it doesn't have to be money. It could be your services. It could be your time. It could be helping out with a couple of things. Find out. Aaron will tell you. Ryan will tell you. Do not. Anybody at HopeLink of Southern Nevada will tell you. That will do it for us today on Hello Henderson. Please make sure you continue to tune in. We'll have more conversations with more folks from Henderson. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please make sure you comment below or just let us know what is it you want us to talk about. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Share this with one person or 5 people. Share this with a few people that can really be able to help. Share this with somebody that could use the help because there's a lot of people out there that just a little too embarrassed to ask for help or maybe they don't know. So if you or someone that you know needs the help, make sure you contact us and contact HopeLink of Southern Nevada. They'll be there to help. All right, that'll do it for us. I'm Haas, and this is Hello Henderson on Dead Sprint Radio.